Hello, my name is Dan Maryanov, and now I'm going to talk about my pitch for the final project. Uh, the game is going to be called Exitium, and mainly the overview is going to be a game about an archaeologist or an explorer that goes inside a cave to explore the ruins of an ancient society. While exploring, you are going to discover more and more about the ancient society, about its secrets, and why did the ancient society fall, or something like that. I'm not planning on making the full game like for the project. Since the theme is open stage, I'm just planning on giving the entire idea just at the start of the game, just making the first reveal, so the players can understand what the game is going to be about. And yeah, I am planning on adding planning what will happen further into the game, but not going to be adding it to the game. Mainly going to leave hints into the game and such stuff, or shadowing, mainly such stuff. Wait. 1 moment. Yeah, I'm going to mainly adventure. Yeah, I'm going to focus like the game is going to be mainly adventure type of genre, where because the game is going to be mostly about exploring the ancient city, and the player will have a lot of freedom looking around and exploring the kingdom itself or the ruins. But the limitations would be mainly like the place will be placed in a closed cave or something like that, so it might not feel exactly like an adventure game, like the area is going to be inside a cave entirely and such stuff. And yeah, the setting mainly in a cave and ruins. So basically it's going to be very like mostly dark and lonely, abandoned ruins, as you can expect from the feeling and such stuff. I'm planning on adding a lot of important details and visual story into the game. So basically, the main purpose of the game will be like adding a lore or just a story, just leaving behind on the world building or just the environmental story. So the player, when he's exploring there, he can tell the story just by looking the ruins. And that's the main purpose of the game. I'm not going for a very long game, mainly 3 to 10 minutes, depending on how much the player is interested into discovering the ruins and such stuff. The main inspirations, I would say, is like world building, visual storytelling, and such stuff. So basically, I don't want to add any dialogue, and I think the best example of something that has very good storytelling without any dialogue would be Minecraft. As you know, there are a lot of ruins and such stuff, and the players can explore it and like learn a lot about the world in there, how it works and such stuff. So Minecraft is a very good example of the inspiration. Also, real life ruins. I decided to make the game based on ruins because I think they are the places that leave the most story behind, I think, and such stuff. Yeah. The issues debate. The main issues might be like the lack of presentation of gameplay. Like there's not going to be a lot of interactive stuff and such stuff. So if the player doesn't understand the story, they will find the game very lacking and such stuff. And I'm not planning on adding a lot of interactives. I would like to, but probably not going to happen. Also, the story not being obvious, since that's like area I haven't been doing yet. I want to like improve in this project. Like I want to add story into the environment and it's only up to the player if it's obvious for them. If I don't make it highlighted or something like that obvious enough, it's going to cause a lot of problem to the story. I want to make it like easy enough for every player to understand what the story is going to be about. And what was the last? Yeah, environment. Yeah, probably is going to be dark. Maybe the cave part is the main problem. Like just rinse in the cave and the story how it was supposed to be. Such stuff. Uh, research plans. Yeah, I'm I'm planning on just looking into how to apply environmental storytelling into the project. That will mainly include research examples of our games and real life learnings. Uh, yeah, for games, I would like to look into the lore of the games and how it's presented into the environment. Mainly like games like Minecraft, where I can watch look how Minecraft does it, and also the lore, and also horror games are quite popular for that. Like they have a lot of hidden lore and hints into the environment. Like just I'm not sure. Like a simple thing could mean a lot into the game, and I find it pretty interesting. So it would be important. And yeah, researching real life learnings would be very important as well. So the player can associate or relate it to the game. So they have general understanding of what's going on into the game and such stuff. Yeah, what else is there? Uh, for the resources and time scale, yeah, I did plan it into the project plan timetable. Such stuff. I have a general plan. I might change a lot of stuff in there, but like I'm planning on splitting the time between my home time and college. At college, I'm planning mainly to like focus into uh, production and such stuff, like production experimenting methods, because I want to learn a lot into this project. So I'm going to do a lot of assets and such stuff, the review designing into college and other stuff, because at college I have 3ds Max and other stuff, so it will be quite easy to do them. Unlike home, I cannot do it. At home, I'm planning on like doing the research and blogging, because I think most of the research I'm planning to do will be more comfortable doing at home, and yeah, such stuff. Yeah. Personal rationale and traits. In this project, I'm planning on developing skills that I'm good at, mainly like my visual, I guess, like assets and such stuff, just presenting them into the game, and also story making. It's not like something I have been working on this course, but I would like to add more storytelling into the games and such stuff. So found it like useful opportunity, I guess, for like improving my skills on those skills. I want to expand them into area I haven't been looking into, like the environmental storytelling and the scale of the objects I do or such stuff. So mainly improving on areas I'm already good at and such stuff. I'm also I would also want to improve on lacking area, but I'm not sure if I will have time for it. But it's still something to consider about. And yeah, I'm planning on making like one high quality review on such stuff, since that it's open stage and it's going to be just the start of the game. So yeah, to have a very good looking game and to present it to display my skills, I guess. Oh
Right.
yeah, that's
Yeah, thank you very much, Darren. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can.
Excellent. All right, good stuff. Thank you. I think I've got a strong sense of like the direction we're going in. What I'd like to explore a bit more now is the idea around the actual location. You talked about ruins, and obviously this picture here is Machu Picchu in South
Yeah,
America, right? Is
yeah.
it a South American ruins that you're looking at, or where would they be? Or is it Bulgarian? Like what's your take on where this will be set?
I mean, I think Machu Picchu would be the main example, but I would like to like explore all kinds of things. It's not still decided, but like
Okay.
the main thing I'm envisioning is like in city and such stuff. Like in Machu Picchu, you can see a lot of common houses or something. I
Hmm.
don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so like so you want an abandoned like a place that was lived in, like a place that has,
Yeah,
like you say, artifacts that people can explore and things that are abandoned or left
yeah,
behind or whatever. Yeah, okay. I think the thing to do is quite quickly to settle on the location and to find um that because that will change quite a lot about the project. Just talking generally about ruins and a cave exploration thing, it sounds great, but I think as soon as you go, right, look, this is set in um you know this particular place, that wherever
yeah,
you land upon, that will give you a lot more interesting things to look at, like lore,
yeah,
like the kind, maybe there are things that are similar that have this kind of monster invasion type plot that
yeah,
the fables like that in European or American or Eastern Europe, East Asian or whatever mythology. So those kinds of things, I think that's a key thing to look at.
yeah,
You talked about Minecraft as an influence. I think, just to
yeah.
clarify, because then you later talked about horror. Does this have a horror? Is this horror slash exploration thing, or is it purely an adventure exploration? What is it? What would a product be?
I'm I'm not planning on relating it to horror. Like, not every game that has a monster is like horror. I want to
No.
have like a feeling of how do you say it, like kind of scary monster, I guess. I don't know, but not
Okay.
exactly horror. I want it
Yeah.
to be more player friendly or something like that. Mainly
Yeah.
focus it into the rings. Yeah,
Good. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to clarify that. So I think that's good. I think one of the things to look at then is like two sort of distinct genres of game to look at are the action adventure games that are set in sort of real world locations. So the kind of Uncharted games, the Tomb
yeah,
Raiders, these games that have the setting of an adventure in these kind of ruined places is perfect, and there'll be many more examples for you to look at, but a couple for you to get going to start with there. Okay, so I think to look at those franchises would be a good place to look at.
yeah,
Um, I also think because of the nature of the type of game you're talking about as well, with limited mechanics, as you say, and more about the aesthetics,
yeah.
looking at like walking simulators. So again, games that are set on like in locations where it's about
Yes.
exploring like something, and you're going for something that looks real, are you? Like a sort of realistic art style, I presume.
I guess. I mean, yeah, kinda. I guess.
Because I think
It
a lot of your
depends
work,
by how it goes.
the reason I said that is a lot of your work, well, most of your work, your strengths, as it were, this year, um,
Yeah,
revolve around using 3D modeling to create really realistic assets, and you've also embraced using Substance Painter. And again, like if you think to your group project, your work is very realistic
yeah,
in its style. Yeah. So I think
yeah,
like you would be missing a trick if you didn't do that kind of thing. Is that what you're after doing again, but just on a different theme, basically? Yeah.
yeah. I guess.
So I think that would be important to sort of show that or showcase that. And again, on your website, if you haven't done so, like showcase some of the things that you've done really well in previous projects to say, look, these assets for the group project are things that I've textured and
Yeah,
modeled, and showcase that. I would say that doing the ancient ruins and exploring ancient ruins would be enough. I think a cave, or like, you can do it for sure. You can do two different, that would be basically two different types of environment, right?
yeah, kinda mixed. I
So
guess.
yeah, so I think caves. caves being organic are harder to model, like the rocks and things? Is that something you feel like you could do, or like based on what you've done before, or would that be a
I mean,
challenge? Or
I think I could do it. Like I did rock walls and such stuff in the underground bunker and such stuff. I think I could do it. Like, but
okay,
not in such meaning.
yeah,
I mean, like, yeah, I did rock walls and such stuff, but I think I can do it for sure.
okay.
Just like improving and going to different areas of my skills, I guess.
Right. Yeah, no, that's fine. So that's because you did the rock walls and that you feel like in the group project that you feel like that's good. And you did, I suppose, rocks and boulders in the first year in first term with the island project. You feel like you've got enough of a
Yes.
handle to do that, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. That's fine. I think that's good justification for that. Who would play this game, Darren? Who do you think is your audience for this?
Audience. I mean, I don't have like mainly like story interest. People that are interested into story and exploring.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, mainly thinking of those people that are interested into the war and such stuff. Since I'm planning of adding war into the environment and storytelling,
Yeah.
but also adding deep version of it. I want to have like a simple version where everyone that plays can understand the story, but also adding further like for those that are really interested into going deep into the game, if you
Okay.
understand.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. That sounds good. I think that's one of the things like when you decide on a location and develop the story a little bit more. And I think these are things you've got to do quite quickly. So this would be my next sort of suggestion of the phase of development is to establish a civilization or an ancient, you know, ruin type scenario that you're going to base it
Yeah.
from, and then think about the types of things that you're going to build in. Draw a little, and then from there that you can then start to draw level designs and think about the
Yes.
type of mechanic and things like that, and you need to kind of do that like but informed from research, so you need to look at examples to get a sense of that and how you're going to teach the player about these places through the objects they find and things.
Yeah, that will be the main research I'm doing because yeah, I'm planning on mainly researching that since I'm very unsure of how to do it right now and such
Yeah,
stuff.
so I think that's important. Like I think that landing on a location and basing it from that, and you've got this image here, looks like an Egyptian image in this
Yes.
section. So again, like thinking about like what maybe it is set, if you set it in something like inside a pyramid,
Yeah.
then that might give you more to think about and a different type of approach, because then you wouldn't necessarily have to do it caves. It could be a lot more going back to the modular work you did in the last term. It could be more modular. It could be like sections. Like if it's inorganic, as you know, it's easier to model. Like you can make straight walls and things with obviously cracks and stuff like you see here, but it's quicker to build a map rather than organic things in a cave. So again, you
Yeah,
can,
I,
you know, go on.
I did consider stuff like I wanted to be about timescale, I think. Uh, yeah, timescale. I
Uh-huh.
did consider like I always consider like the scale of my project and how far can I do it.
Yeah.
If the time goes wrong or something, or I was things don't go by plan,
Uh-huh.
I can like problem solve stuff and such stuff. So I can take a shortcut or something. So I can have a backup plan for that, I think.
Yeah. And I think maybe rather than having it as a backup plan, it might be more sensible to go, look, for the reason that it will take a lot longer, and you know it will, to go for an inorganic kind of ruin, man-made ruin, and skip the
Yes.
cave part and go for something like being inside a pyramid or inside the catacombs or something like that, where it's a man-made square walls, flat ceilings type job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That will give you more ability to make your map more easily, and that would be well justified in that sense. Okay, so like
Yes.
that's what you need to land on. Have you got your project proposal completed?
Yeah, I
Like,
have it.
can I have a look at that just a minute before we?
Where is it? But how to?
If you escape out, yeah, that's it. And then if you can open it, cool. So we just check this project. I'm going to be perfect. So if we that's your justification, yeah. So you're not doing anything that you don't think is too risky. You're sticking with playing to your strengths, as it were, what you've done before, right?
I think so.
And you're not having too many interactive things. Do you feel like what sort of interactive things would you have if you were to have any interactive
I
elements?
was considering, since I was mainly considering to make a cave and
Yeah.
such stuff. I wanted to make a torch that moves alongside with you, like you're holding it all the
Oh yeah,
time.
cool. Yep, yep. That sounds
Because
good.
yeah, just having light all the everywhere you go.
Yeah,
So having a torch would be something useful.
yep.
Probably not hard, but don't know how to do it. So yeah.
Okay, that's something you can work with Sam to do. What about collectibles? Were you picking up objects or something like that? Would that be part of the gameplay?
Yeah, I was considering of adding like artifacts and maybe possible puzzles because some ruins are game can relate to puzzle ruins and such stuff.
Yeah,
So like having a wall image just showing you that how the puzzle will go and just you have to correct and such stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I think this sounds really good. What I'm going to do, Darren, is this very reminiscent of another student project that's gone before, and I would like to show you that example. So the one I'm going to show you is a year 2 example project. If you scroll down on this a bit, so I can just see the rest of it. So that's good. Yeah, cool. So it's a puzzle. So we're saying really it's a puzzle type action event or adventure type game, really. Yeah, my evaluation. Okay, blogging. So you're going to have something that's playable to get people to play test later on, right?
Uh, it depends, maybe. Depends if I end up doing a lot of interactables, but
People still can. I think even if it's not playable, as in like people can still go on it. And it's an Unreal project. They can walk around and see and give you feedback on the way it looks and that. Yeah.
yeah, if I give them the project, I would mainly ask them like how obvious is the story? Like, can they tell what the story is trying to tell just by looking at it?
Great. Yeah, I think that, and I think it's important to plan in that people playing it. So that's good. Scroll down a bit.
Yeah,
Let's have a look. You've got your bibliography. I think again in here, what we need to have is we've got Minecraft, but I think other titles like again, like I was saying, like Tomb Raider,
yes.
Uncharted. I'm trying to think of others, but yeah, those sorts of games that are similar. Okay.
I'm
Um,
not sure if I did tell. Did I say that I was planning on like playing games myself? So I put myself into the position of the player,
yeah.
just explores the rings with no idea what the story is going to be about. Just trying to put my head into it and
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, that's perfect. You know, that's what you need to do. And like you were saying, you talked about it perfectly. As an introduction, what you're doing is how you teach the player what they're supposed to do and whether it's obvious, like you say from the start
Yeah,
of what they're. You only need to make a little bit of the game, but it's like how do they know what they're supposed to do without. Well, how do you instruct them as to what they do? Whether you tell them directly in the game or whether you make it subtle, or I don't know. But you know, do you know what I mean? That's like that's for you to like work out as you do that. But that's perfect.
yeah.
Playing games would be good. So I think we need to add a few more titles to this research, this source. Um, and
It,
again, like things like where you said I'll have research ruins. I think you need to be more specific. You need to say like
yeah,
at this point we need to say that it's going to be these ruins, and it could be something like linked to somewhere that you're from. Like maybe there's some. Is it Bulgaria? Yeah.
yeah. Bulgaria would be mainly related to ancient Rome and such stuff. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it has a lot of. Bulgaria has actually ruins, and I have seen them myself.
Yeah.
Ancient Rome or something like that,
Cool. Yeah, that would be
and
so. That
those
would
are
be
popular. Yeah,
yeah. So that would be really interesting. I think that would give it would give you a bit of a unique take in your heritage, and it would give the project a real emphasis then, and it'd be quite nice. I think that would be a nice thing to think about. If there's ruins
yeah,
that are linked to Bulgaria, that you can say, look, this is why I'm doing it. Perfectly well justified. You know, that's your origin. So then to build a project around some sort of Bulgarian ruins would be perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Scroll down a bit, then can I just check your time plan? I saw it obviously was in your part of your pitch, but it's all filled in there. Yeah, great. Okay, right. So Darren, key things to do next is to expand on that. The research needs to be properly planned out now. You need to sort of say, look, it's going to be based on these things. I'm going to look at these games and get ideas for ways to take it. I really like some of the things you're talking about are great, but we need to really crack on with research and get a plan together and have things like level design maps sketched out and the thing that you did with Sam, the whole white boxing and making a little prototype map fairly soon. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, really exciting project. I think it's great and a good pitch. Well done. Okay, I like that you've named it as well. Really like the title for it.
Did I explain the title actually?
You didn't, I don't think, but I presume it's about exiting these or finding the way out of these ruins, is it or not?
Yeah, Exitium is like basically I just looked at. I didn't do too much research into it. Just look at the old ancient words, mainly Rome, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So Exitium is in just in translation.
Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, again, all the lore is coming in, but I think that's where we need to now develop it, and the next phase is a key phase to tying down what it is you research and the direction you take this project in. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to stop recording at this point and I'll send you the video and you add this to your evaluation reflection page and reflect on the key things to take forward. All right?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. So